Welcome to the Transatlantic Entrepreneur Podcast, the ultimate guide for European founders and businesses looking to grow their revenue with American clients, partners, and investors. The U.S. market is the land of opportunity, where ambitious entrepreneurs break through barriers, win more clients, and scale their success to new heights. Now it's your turn to make your mark. Here's your host, founder of the company Transatlantia and trusted mentor behind Europe's most successful transatlantic entrepreneurs, Christina Rubafe-Broaddus.
Want to know how to craft a pitch that wins U.S. clients? If you're struggling to get American clients, the problem isn't your offer, it's probably your pitch. Americans think differently, and if you don't adapt, you'll lose out. Let me show you how to pitch like an American for Americans and win. In this video, you'll learn how to adapt your pitch for the American market, why your current approach might be missing the mark, and the simple shifts that you can make to land more U.S. clients today. Now, if you don't know me, I am Christina Rubafe-Broaddus. I am the founder of Transatlantia, where we help European entrepreneurs break cultural, language, and mindset barriers to attract and win more American clients. Our clients have landed premium U.S. contracts, raised millions in funds, built stronger networks, and increased conversions, all by learning how to pitch in a way that resonates with their American clients and their American investors. Now, here's why a lot of European-style pitches fall flat in the U.S. The reality is, what works in Europe doesn't always work in the U.S. And the biggest mistakes that I see are these. Many European entrepreneurs focus too much on the technical details and the features of their service, rather than the outcomes that they deliver for the client. Americans are results driven. They want to know what's in it for them, and they want to know it quick. So if your pitch doesn't answer the "so what" question, you risk losing their attention. For example, saying, "Our software has advanced algorithms." Yeah, that might be true, but it's meaningless unless you add, "which will cut your processing time in half." Every part of your pitch needs to pass the "so what" test in order to resonate with your American clients. Remember that Americans have different ways of thinking. The American culture values results first, methods and features later, if at all, really. European thinking often builds up arguments and justifications to progressively come to a conclusion or a result. I mean, we literally think differently on different sides of the Atlantic. Another mistake that I see is what I'll call the one and done trap. It's thinking that your pitch is like one size fits all. I hear so many entrepreneurs say, "No, I'm good. I've already worked on my pitch." Now, we covered this in the previous video. Different audiences and different situations require different pitches. One audience, one pitch. If your pitch isn't tailored to the priorities of your specific target and it isn't right for the situation, you miss that opportunity. So think of your pitch not as something you create and then you just go out and use it as is. It's a toolbox, and you have different tools for different clients. Now, another mistake that I see is credibility concerns. Many European entrepreneurs worry that being a smaller provider is a disadvantage in the big US market. But honestly, here's the truth. Americans don't really care about the size of your business. They care about your expertise and the results that you're going to be able to give them, and they want to see proof of that. So if you position yourself as a specialist and you clearly show the value you bring and you have the proof to back it up, being smaller can actually work in your favor. So there's no need to feel ashamed if you're a small company. Be proud of your big results. Americans value specialists who can deliver niche expertise with confidence, and that's whether you're a company of 1 or 1,000. Now, you're going to need to build up your pitch toolkit, and there are 3 types of pitches that you need in order to make sure that you're pitching effectively no matter the situation. The first is the micro pitch. This is the 1 to 2 sentence answer to what do you do? You want to tailor it to resonate with the audience that you're speaking to whenever possible. Now, I know you don't always know who you're speaking to, but for example, for startups, it might be something like, I help fast-growing companies scale efficiently by reducing bottlenecks. You also need the second type of pitch, the conversational pitch. This is a flexible series of value points that you can bring up during a discussion. It's like a card game. You've got your hand of cards and you play your card at the right moment to adjust your message depending on the priorities of the person you're speaking with, who they are, and how that conversation is going. Now, the third type of pitch to have in your toolbox is the planned pitch. And this is a more formal type of presentation designed for a specific prospect or a specific audience. It breaks down the problem, your tailored solution that you offer, and the results that they can expect, all backed by data and stories that speak directly to them. And it makes it super clear who you are, what you do, who you help, how you help them, and what outcome they can expect. Now, there's an important point here about the pitch. It's about having a repeatable pitch. Now, the good news is that once you've identified your target market, you can create repeatable pitches that are easy to use to show how valuable you are, no matter who you're talking to. In fact, you want to get really, really, really good at pitching in conversations following the repeatable structure, but being able to adapt to the situation. Now, why is this so important? Because in American culture, we're always looking for opportunities, and literally every conversation can be a chance to pitch. Now, let's talk a little bit about networking and small talk and pitching. Americans love networking, whether it is at a conference, over coffee, even in casual small talk while you're waiting in line at a Starbucks. There could be an opportunity to pitch yourself there. They're everywhere. And Americans are very often open to listening to that and maybe even to making an introduction if they see the value in what you bring. So having a clear, repeatable micro pitch means that you're always ready to answer the question, what do you do? In a way that is clear, but also sparks curiosity and builds connections with absolute confidence so that they see your values. Now, like I said, Americans are constantly on the lookout for opportunities, not just for themselves, but also for the people in their network. So if your pitch is clear, engaging, and outcome-driven, it's easier for them to listen and to introduce you to someone who might need your services, even if it's not the person you're talking to. The better your conversational pitch, the more likely that is to turn a casual chat into a meaningful lead. Now, there are some practical strategies you can use to sharpen your pitch. So here's how to make your pitch really land with American clients. Talk about them, not about yourself. Speak directly to your ideal American client's goals. Revenue growth, efficiency, saving time, scaling, whatever. Avoid making your pitch about you and your product or service and make it about them. Also, integrate social proof in there. Americans trust recommendations, testimonials, and data. So really highlight your success with other clients, especially if they're US based, just to give your pitch more credibility. And yes, even in a casual conversation, you can do this very naturally. You also want to be sure that you're refining and you're testing your pitch. Try it out in conversations on LinkedIn, during meetings, anywhere that you can, so that you're able to see what resonates. You can tweak what doesn't, and you build up your confidence by putting yourself out there and practicing pitching as much as possible. And if you enjoy this as a learning process, not as a one and done task to tick off your to-do list, your pitches are just going to get so much better and you're going to reach so many more American clients. Now, when you take the time to create your toolbox of repeatable, tailorable pitches. You're no longer fumbling for the right words when it comes time to show your value. You're prepared, you're confident, you're focused, you're ready to connect with each American client on their terms or open a door to being put in touch with the right person. And this not only builds your conversions, but it also builds up the trust and credibility in you as a European entrepreneur doing business in, honestly, a land where kids start learning how to pitch at the age of 5. So now you know how to adapt your pitch to the US market and how to position yourself confidently with American clients. So here's the next challenge for you. A great pitch only works if you're consistently getting seen by the right people. So how do you gain visibility? How do you stand out? How do you position yourself as the go-to expert? That is the third step in my Transatlantic Entrepreneur Program, and I'll walk you through that step in the next video. I'll show you how to create a U.S. strategy that doesn't just win clients, but also builds your pipeline of opportunities. But if already you know that you want to learn more, go ahead and join me in one of my upcoming Transatlantic Entrepreneur Workshops. The link and the date for the next one is in the description below this episode. Now remember, pitching in the American market, it isn't just about showing a fancy PowerPoint to investors or delivering a polished sales presentation. It's about creating meaningful connections through every interaction, whether that's a quick LinkedIn reply, a casual networking chat, or a high-stakes meeting. Your pitch is your chance to show American clients that you understand their priorities, speak their language, and you deliver results that matter to them. And when you focus on the outcomes, you tailor your message to those specific audiences, and you position yourself confidently as the expert they need, you're not just pitching. You're building trust, you're opening doors, and you're setting your foundation for long-term success. So if you want to refine your pitch and learn how to connect with the right American clients, like I said, come to one of my workshops and let's make your European expertise impossible to ignore in the American market. Let's make you visible, valuable, and well connected with your American clients. Thanks for listening to the American Market Alchemist podcast. If you're ready to amplify your influence and scale your impact in the U.S. market, become a member of my newsletter community. You'll get weekly tips on LinkedIn strategy, personal branding, and digital marketing to write your U.S. success story. The link to get the newsletter is in the show notes. I'm Christina Robafé-Broaddus, and I'll talk to you next time.